Hello, welcome to my channel. Feel free to still subscribe to my channel, and welcome again to the today's session or today's video. Today I'm going to be teaching you some trigonometry. I am going to show you the easier way you can find trigonometric ratios of special angles, and the angles you're going to focus here are 30 degrees, 0 degrees, and 60 degrees. How do you get these trigonometric ratios of these special angles? The steps are very simple and very easy to use or even remember. Now we are going to use a palm of a hand. So we have on the video you have a hand which has 5 fingers, and in those 5 fingers we are going to use them to identify the trigonometric ratios of these special angles: 60 degrees, 30 degrees, and 0 degrees. So it's very simple. How do we deal with that? It's very simple. Let's pay attention and watch the full video so that you can be able to know what is happening here. Now my hand has 5 fingers. We have number 1. I have indicated some numbers on the fingers. You have the numbers indicated in black. We have number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, and 5. The thumb here in this case is number 1. We have the first finger, which is number 2. The middle finger is number 3. The ring finger is number 4, and finally the last small finger is number 5. In these fingers I am going, or you are supposed to place your angles in the way like in that ascending order. So the first finger will represent 0 degrees, the second finger will represent 30 degrees, the middle finger will represent 45 degrees, the ring finger will represent 60 degrees, and finally the last finger will represent 90 degrees. Let's go ahead and find out what we are supposed to do. But before we go there, I want you to know here, if you are looking for a sign of a specific angle, for example an angle, let's say 45 degrees or 30 degrees, go first to the finger representing that angle. That will be your reference point. Okay, so once it is your reference point, sign of any of these angles will be represented to the right of your finger or your reference finger. So whenever you go to the right of the finger you are in, you will be looking for sign of those special angle. When you go to the left of the finger in interest, you will be getting the cosine of these angles, special angles. What you'll be doing, you'll just be counting the number of fingers. Easy, isn't it? Now let's take a look of what we're supposed to do. We are going to begin with 60 degrees. As you can see, previously I showed you that those fingers, they represent specific angles. Now finger number 4, which is the ring finger, is representing 60 degrees. So 60 degrees, go to that finger number 4, which is highlighted in yellow, that is the finger of interest, and then we proceed. Now go to on your video screen, on the right of your video screen, on the top right of your video screen, I have written something there on top. I have written sine 60 degrees is equal to the root 3 over 2. Let's see how we go about it to get that root 2 over 2. Simple. Our angle of interest is 60 degrees. So previously I have said, when you are looking for the sign of any these special angles, rather, you move to the right of the finger and count how many fingers are to the right if you are looking for sign of these angles. If you are looking for the cosine of these angles, you move, or you go to the left of the finger in interest and count those fingers. Now let's start by sine 60. 60 degrees is in finger number 4. We are looking for the sign of it, so we must move to the right of the finger, which is the yellow finger. Count how many fingers are to the right. We have how many fingers? 1, 2, 3. We have 3 fingers to the right of the yellow finger. Now get the square root of those fingers, or get the square root of those numbers of fingers. So we have 3 fingers, so sine 60 will be equal to square root of 3 fingers divided by 2. So the denominator here will always be 2 in this experiment or in this method. So anything you do, once you get the square root of anything, you divide always by 2 if you're using this method of mine. So sine 60, we know it is how many fingers? 3 fingers. So square root of 3 fingers is just root 3, then just divide by 2. The 2 will just be there. So there's nothing which is going to change about the 2. The 2, let it be there. So we have already seen the sine of 60 degrees is actually root 3 over 2. Very easy, isn't it? Yes. Let's now proceed, still on the same angle, 60 degrees. 60 degrees is still in finger number 4. But now let's look at how we obtain cosine of 60 degrees. 60 degrees, we go to the top left of your video screen. I have written there cos 60 degrees is equal to 1 over 2. We all know that it is 1 over 2. Cos of 60 is 1 over 2. But let's prove with my method. The finger of interest is 60 degrees, which is finger number 4. If you can see how many fingers are to the left, we are looking for the cosine, so we go to the left of the finger in interest. How many fingers are to the left? We find it's only one finger, number 5. It's only one finger. So just take 1 and divide by that 2 I have said previously or before. Do anything and then divide by 2. So we have 1 finger to the left, square root. So square root of that 1 finger is just 1. Square root of 1 is always 1. So we get 1 over 2, which is a half. We have proved that. You're getting along well. So now let's look at the final part, 30 degrees. Alright, 30 degrees is represented by the second finger. So the second finger, which is also known as pointing finger, is representing 30 degrees. So let's go to the top right of your video screen. I have written on top there, sine 60 degrees is equal to the square root of 1 over 2, which is equal to a half. We all know sine of 30 is a half. That one you can even speak it when you're sleeping. Sine of 30 is a half. Let's see if it's a half. Come to our finger in interest here is number 2, finger number 2, which is representing 30 degrees. We're looking for sine, so we come to the right of the finger and count how many fingers are to the right of that yellow finger. We find it is 1 finger. So square root of 1, which is just 1, and then just divide by 2. The 2, like I've said, everything you have to divide by 2, so you get a half. Now you have already obtained the sine of 30 is a half. Let's go ahead, let's cross and look for the cosine of 30. Go to the top of your video screen, to the left of your video screen on top. I have written there cos 30 degrees is equal to the root 3 over 2. Let's prove if whatever we are saying is correct. Our finger of interest is finger number 2 because it is representing 30 degrees. So finger number 2 representing 30 degrees. We are looking for cos of 30, so we will move to the left and count how many fingers are to the right, to the left, sorry. So we find 3 fingers, so we get square root of 3 and just square root of those 3 fingers and just divide by 2. Bingo, you are now good to go. You can now solve trigonometric ratios or trigonometric questions which requires you to use these special angles and be able to pass in trigonometry. So I hope you have been following my video. Feel free to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell if you want to be updated on any video that I'm going to be uploading. Thank you so much for watching. See you next video. Goodbye.